All right. Hey, everybody. Today we're talking about the truth about fat burning supplements. This is going to be a really quick little lesson, and we're going to talk basically about fat burner pills and the advertisements that sell them. And the truth is going to shock you. Basically, the fat loss lie is that you need supplements or fat burners to get lean. So, ephedra or ephedrine, thermogenic fat burner pills. You probably have heard of these. The most popular of the fat burner supplements ever on the market were ephedra or ephedrine-based products, which hit the shelves around 1993. Ephedrine was actually immensely popular because there's actually good scientific evidence showing that it had measurable fat-burning effects. You could you would feel it. You basically got an energy buzz. Ephedrine is a drug derived from a plant, a Chinese herb called ephedra, also known as ma huang. That's probably really bad pronunciation, but anyway, it is similar to the chemical structure to amphetamines and works basically as a beta androgenic agonist, which basically means in plain English, if I can spit that out, is that it's thermogenic and it helps with the release of stored body fat. So if it works so well and it actually burned fat, why did it get banned by the FDA and taken off the market in April of 2004? Well, there were some political and financial agendas involved, obviously, but the reason given to the public was concern about adverse effects and safety. To this day, the decision to remove ephedrine from the market is still controversial because the research was mixed on whether the risks were actually severe enough to warrant the ban. So, basically, people didn't have a clear-cut idea of whether or not ephedrine was actually that dangerous or not. And in fact, it's probably safe when taken as directed, but the thing is, although the FDA had 80 ephedrine-related deaths and 1,400 adverse effects complaints on file, including strokes, coronaries, and seizures, the fact is, when compared to deaths caused by prescription drugs and other over-the-counter drugs like aspirin, ephedra actually appeared fairly safe when used as directed by healthy individuals and not abused. Basically, a lot of these prescription drugs out on the market right now might actually have more side effects than ephedra. But one huge downside of ephedrine that was not mentioned by the pro-ephedrine camp is that stimulant-based fat burners can be highly addictive. See, that's the one danger that really no one was really mentioning. Addiction leads to improper use or abuse. In the early and mid 1990s, I've used ephedra products because they're legal, and basically, I never really saw any big effects from these pills helping me with fat loss. But what I've noticed is that these pills are basically like a stimulant boost. There's a buzz. You can feel your heart rate pounding. You can feel increased physical energy and the amplified mental focus and workout intensity. Basically, what happens is that sorry, my phone's going off there. But basically, what happens is that you can almost feel you're gonna leap out of your skin, kind of thing, like a really big pump. So that was the actual one of the amplifying effects of ephedrine. Over time, the height of the craze, 12 to 17 million people were using ephedra, and many of them were hooked on what was essentially a mild form of legal speed. These products were being abused en masse as pick-me-ups. Students were popping these pills to stay awake and study all night, and partiers were doing the same. So were truck drivers. Like any addictive habit, it's difficult to stop. When you first go cold turkey, you crash emotionally and physically, and your workouts suffer because your crutch has been taken away. It's like trying to kick a booze or cigarette habit. You go through withdrawal. Basically, what goes up must come down. Your body is too smart for short-term quick fixes to ever work because your body will always fight back to maintain a natural balance or homeostasis. For every artificial peak or high you create, there will be an equal or greater valley or low point. If you overstimulate, your body can respond by slowing down your natural metabolic rate to compensate. As a result, when you stop using the stimulant, your metabolism is slower than ever and you gain back any weight you lost and more. This often prompts you to go back on stimulants, and the vicious cycle of stimulant addiction continues. Some experts say that long-term use can even lead to adrenal burnout. So even if there aren't any serious coronary or health risks from proper use, There's risk of irresponsible use and a risk of addiction and dependency on fake energy. Just remember, what goes up must come down. If you borrow energy, you will eventually have to pay it back. Ephedra free fat burners. So when the FDA finally pulled the plug on ephedra, supplement companies scrambled like crazed maniacs to come out with ephedra-free formulas for their fat burners, as they anticipated the imminent doom of the multi-million-dollar cash cows. The ads, of course, came out with hyped-up claims, right? More powerful than ephedrine-based fat burners. The next generation of thermogenic technology, you know? The great irony is that most of these fat burners currently on the market today are completely worthless. At best, they provide a watered-down, unproven substitute for ephedrine and a slight buzz. Most are loaded with caffeine, particularly like caffeine pills. You know, if you read the boxes, it says like same caffeine as 3 cups of coffee. You know, or they might provide some form of mild appetite suppression. But none of these so-called next-generation fat burners are the miracles that the advertisements say they are. Bodybuilding industry columnist Will Brink put it this way: the explosion of ephedrine-free weight loss products was more a function of market pressure versus being based on any scientist. Claims by some companies that their ephedrine-free fat burners were equivalent to or even superior to ephedrine-based products was wishful thinking and market-driven BS. But it didn't matter. Consumers had been hoodwinked with the classic bait and switch. The ephedrine was gone from the formulas, but the brand names remained the same. There's, why people are constantly coming out with these fat-burning pills? Because there's staggering. Well, basically, the fact is there's a lot of money in fat burners and diet pills. And last year, before ephedra was banned, sales had skyrocketed to $1.25 billion, according to the Nutrition Business Journal. And the money still continues to pour in at a staggering rate today. To say the money is the main motivation behind the push for diet pills and fat burners would be the understatement of the century. Most people who aggressively recommend fat-burning pills of any kind are profiting from their sale, and it's really hard to get any unbiased information when so much money is at stake. And the truth is, a lean body does not come in a pill. It's a common misconception that you can't reach your fat loss goals unless you take some sort of a fat-burning supplement. It's also a common misconception that you can pop a pill and get dramatic results like you see on TV and magazine ads. The results you see in ads for fat burners are persuasive, but before and after testimonials are not proof that diet pills were responsible for these results. Basically, a lot of these pills will, hire somebody to get like a lot of weight on, like just put on a whole bunch of weight, and then they burn it off real quickly because these people are professional bodybuilders. It doesn't take them that long to lose weight. So it looks like the pill was the cause of the fat loss, but really in effect it's their training, hardcore training. They're basically know how to lose weight extremely quickly. It's not kind of typical results. So it's a common misconception, like I said, that you can't reach your fat loss goals without diet pills.